Good day. So ngayon ituturo ko naman sa inyo kung paano ang inverse function. So this is one of the uh, fundamental topics ng ating general mathematics for function. So ang inverse function kasi it undoes based on its definition, it undoes the work of the first one. So kung yung mga nauna nating topic is hinahanap natin yung kanyang output by giving a specific input. So ngayon, alam natin yung output and then ating hahanapin yung kanyang ang inverse function. So pabaliktad yung ating gagawin. And tatry natin na gawan siya ng graph. So it is also a function that undergoes with another function. So tulad nga nung unang nasabi na hahanapin natin yung kabaligtaran ng ating naunang function. So, let's have some examples na pinabite natin. Okay? So, what if meron tayong function na we are asked kung ano yung inverse. Yan yung sign ng inverse function. 4x. Okay. So, meron tayong function ng 4x and then hahanapin natin yung kanyang inverse. So, meron lang tayong unting steps kung paano yun ginagawa. So, ang unang step natin is to replace f of x, yung inverse function of x ng y. So, magiging y is equal to 4x. Okay? So, yung inverse function ng f natin, f of x, ay pinalitan lang natin ng y. And then, second step natin is pagpapalitin natin yung places ng x and then ng y. So, magkakaroon tayo ng x is equal to 4y. Okay. And then, what we are going to do is to find the value of y. So, ating i-isolate yung y. Ititira lang natin on our right-hand equation yung y. So, what we are going to do is to divide both sides by 4. So, we have over 4 here and then we have over 4 on the right-hand equation, which will cancel out yung ating 4 sa numerator and 4 sa denominator. So, what will remain is x over 4 is equal to y. So, the inverse function ng ating inverse function of x is equal to 4x is equal to x over 4 is equal to y. So, ngayon, ang gagawin natin is to determine kung tama nga ba yun. So, gagawa tayo ng graph gamit ang ating function na 4x and then function na x over 4 is equal to y. So, ito yung first function natin. Ito yung ating second function o yung kanyang inverse. So, we will graph. So, paano nga ba mag-graph? So, since meron tayong 4x, f of x is equal to 4x, gawa tayo ng table natin. Kuha lang tayo muna ng 3 points para mas mabilis. So, we have x natin and we have our y. So, ating x na gagamitin for this example is negative 1, 0, and 1. Once we substitute negative 1 on our given function, we will have negative 4. And for the 0, we have 4 times 0, we have 0. And 1, we have 4 times 1, we have 4. And let's have yung ating inverse function ng x. So, susulat ko lamang yung ating function. We have x over 4. And then we are going to have yung ating table with 3 points. So we have x and we have y. And then we're going to have negative 1, 0, and 1. Ngayon, isa-substitute lang natin yung values na ito in our equation, our function, which is x over 4. So we have x over 4. We will substitute negative 1, so we will have negative 0.25. And then we have 0, we have 0. And for our 1, we have 1 over 4, which is 0.25. Since we have the given values, solid values, we are going to graph that in our equation. So, meron nga tayo dito, Cartesian plane. Hope yun na nakikita ninyo. Akin lang sigurong linawan sa part na ito. And let's have arrows. So, base dun sa ating unang table, we have x natin is negative 1. And then our value for y is negative 4. So, nandito yan sa part na ito. Yan. Sorry po, medyo sorry kung hindi nakikita on our video. Then let's have 0, 0, which is at the origin, and we have our 0 and our 1 and then 4. So dito magpo-fall ang ating graph, and then we can trace it, and we can clearly see that it is a linear function. So straight lang siya hanggang negative 4. And then ito yung ating value for ating graph for f of x. Or let's graph naman yung ating inverse function. So we have negative 1 and 0.25. So we have x here, and then yung y natin is 0.25. That is almost 1/4. Then 0 and 0, and we have 1 and 0.25, which is here. So that is also a linear function, and this is the inverse function of our x. So as you can see that the graph here is the inverse of our graph na ating nakuha. So yun ang unang example natin for our inverse function, and later on I will upload more para sa iba pang example. Yun lang, and stay tuned.